There's a Newcastle on the line. Sure, so looking forward to another measure session.
Okay, we're live with the music.
Excellent delayed sound. Styles to show them then. I've got a couple of styles.
Have you got your music that you're going to start with? Do you know what you're starting?
Yeah, I'm going to start with this gospel part. I'm on. Hello and welcome to another live stream from ePianos, Genos Tipsters, Whitley Bay Organs and, what have I missed? Tyros Tipsters. Today I'm on a Tyros 5 and Tyros 5 stuff will all work on Genos pretty much, and also it'll work on all the other Tyroses too and the SX series. There's a few changes with the touch screen on a Genos and the SX, but most of the facilities that we're going to use are going to be available to find on the Genos and the SX series too. That was a really good style called Gospel Party, and it's a really uplifting one. I used the transpose a few many times probably, but the actual sound of it all is really good fun, and the multi-pads that mix in with it.
Clap your hands, everybody! Come on, everybody now!
And the hand clap just make it a really uplifting, really good backing. So that's found in the rhythm and blues section on the Tyros 5, and it's a really good full sound called Gospel Party. So I would recommend have a play with it. It's a really good one. Let's see who's already here with us today. Let's have a look. James Shepherd Blythe. Oh, you're very welcome, James. It's nice to have you with us. We've got Mick Sayers from Chinna. Hi Mick, good to have you back with us. You've been with us every time. That's really kind. Damiel Duarte. Bom dia. Well, I think that means hello. Thank you for joining us. Where are you from, I wonder? Mr. Clitheroe, let's see, watching with an SX900 from sunny Lythe from St Anne's. Hi, nice to have you with us too. Hi Dennis Noble, you're with us regularly, thank you. From Newcastle under Lyme in Staffordshire. Looking forward to another informative session. Well, I'll do what I can. I'll do whatever I can. Hi from Felixstowe, Alan Bourne. Great to have you with Alan. Inga Harvard. Hi Inga. And Terence Parker in Coventry. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know that it's coming through clearly, and we want it to be that it's going to work for you. So if there are any questions you want me to try and cover, do type them in at the bottom of the video, and I can then explain a little bit about a feature that you might want help with, and hopefully it will help other people too. Hi Shane from Spalding, Shane Graves, good to have you with us. Hi Flo from my garden. My daughter's got COVID, so we're actually in the spare room of my house, and Charlie's squashed over here, and we're doing this all from my spare room because we're in isolation till Thursday night, Friday. So it's been a strange old week, but we're getting through it. It's my partner's 50th, so a few of our celebrations had to be cancelled due to us all in isolation. But say la vie, we've got to be safe, and we hope you're all safe at home. Okay, hi also to Andy Long. Hi Andy, good customer of ours. And Don O'Farrell from Woodford, Essex. And Dave Spanner, hello from sunny Southampton. Well, we've got sun at the moment. We've been expected rain for the last few days, but fortunately we've had nice weather. Hi, Jerry Curlin from Spain. I'll speak to you in the morning. And Alf Symington, hi, thanks for the replacement. Everything okay? That's good. And Roy Jolly, hi, looking forward to more tips. Hope they're okay for Tyros 4. They will be, Roy. Yeah, there might be a couple of styles I might pick that might not be on the 4. I think most of them will be actually. But what we want to do today is get you to be more adventurous with your keyboards. I'm sure many of you are, and it's not knocking you. It's just that even myself, I don't go into all the styles. I tend to stay with favourite ones. So I've got some styles to show you again, and I want you to tell me styles that you regularly use that we might not have found, because it's very easy just to go to the first page each time, and all those further back, further on, give us some different settings. And even the one-touch settings that you can use with them make a big difference to the overall sound and experience that we get with any of them. So it's definitely worth experimenting and trying styles that you haven't done. Now, one of my recommendations is a guy called Eric Lepine up in Denmark, and he's given me a suggestion which I want to share with you, which is for trying to use new styles with your songs. So if you've got a song that you regularly play, let's say it's in the jazz section, then why not save all your registrations that you like into your buttons, but then go back and just try a different category of accompaniment, because it's very easy just to think a certain song is going to be a jazz song, but try it in a bossa nova or a more Latin-y one, or try it in a ballad backing, because as long as it's 4/4, that will work really, really well. So I will try this. Now, I haven't practiced this, but let's just try it now. So let's just see a song I would normally play. If we play a bossa nova, let's say a Girl from Ipanema, we'll go into that and we'll turn it on. I would normally play it probably in a bossa nova backing. So we'll go into the Latin section and we'll find a bossa nova, and this is how I'd normally play it. Nice backing actually, this. Really good intro with the guitars. Quite a long back. nice saxophone sound then. And the other ones I will just show you, because on this bossa nova we've got guitar, and we've got organs, and we've got trumpets. So we've got a nice setting just on the bossa nova, but let's try something a little bit different. Let's go into the ballad section. Okay, now when we were playing it just then in the Latin section, we can see the speed that they gave me was 120 on the screen. It shows you the speed that it automatically puts it at, and I've left it at that typical speed for a bossa nova. But let's go to a ballad and let's try and find one at a similar speed. So if we go to page, what have we got? Page 2, we have one at 112 here called Cowley Bay. I've not tried this with this song, but it's bound to work. It's going to be a 4/4, I'm sure. So we'll play this now with its introduction. It actually sounds really nice. These on here on this page 2 of the presets in the ballad section are a bit more way out and a bit more sort of trancey, but they are quite nice. There's quite a lot of echo built into the sounds. Let's try another section. Let's go into a country rhythm, and I'll look for that similar speed again. We'll go into well, with country it's strange because you've got some fast country ones and slow ones. Let's just go into one. There's a Cali country there. Let's see what that's going to be like. Let's stop that. Okay, so do what we normally play it with. Works well, doesn't it? Let's try another one. Let's go into we'll go into Entertainer. Now, Entertainer is all the sort of Schlager and European sounds typically, but let's find one with a similar speed. We'll go to Schlager Palace. No idea what this is going to be like, but let's try an intro. These are a good set to try out actually. There's some really good backings. Slightly more dancey. Do experiment. It's a good idea of Eric's in Denmark, just to try different styles out with a song you play really well, really regularly, and just experiment by going to somewhere totally out of your comfort zone, a different setting. Think about the speed. Sometimes the speeds, if you go to one and it just seems too fast, it's because it's at double the beat. So go to half the speed. If it's 120, try the ones at 60, and they're more likely to fit it as well. But you've got to think how fast you normally play that song. But it's a really good way to be experimental. And those ones to try again in that ballad section on page 2, Chill Performer, Cowley Bay, Night Walk, Play for Sofa and Angel Sun. They're really nice sort of trancey, dancey backgrounds, but quite subtle and nice to try with songs that you might have played in other ballads or in bossa novas things before. It's just another set to try and get out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Let's see what people are saying then. See if you all disagree with me. Okay, let's just move this down. So, truth. Aylesbury piano lessons in your own home. Oh, bit of an advert there for somebody. Tyros 5 there is a big, I'm sorry about this, Tyros 5, is there a way big RAM can be put underside? Got 27 pack samples from Aylesbury. Okay, so you can buy an expansion board for this. There's two sizes that Yamaha would recommend. One of them is 512 megabytes and one of them is 1 gigabyte. We have them second-hand available in the shop. I think we sell the gigabyte one for about £125. It would have been about 300 new, I believe, and that would give you a big expansion memory just for the extra sounds and styles that you might want from Yamaha that are now free. So yes, the expansion board does fit in underneath. There's a compartment, it slots in and screws into place, and then you could use the expansion manager program to download extra sounds and voices. Your registrations will just go into the usual memory, but the extra memory that's a big capacity for the sounds and styles that you might want to buy extra would then be available to put into that extra RAM, and that's in the gigabyte one is the one that I would probably recommend, and we do have some of those second hand. I'm not sure if they're on a website. If they're not, I'll put them on later for you. Okay, let's have a look what other people are saying. Hi Dennis Cook from Litchfield, thanks for joining us. Hi to Sklazo from Michigan, I hope I pronounced that somewhere right. Hi from John in Northwich, keep it up, very informative, thank you. Les B in Birmingham, hi Les. Patrick McNally, loud and clear in Bangor, Northern Ireland, thank you very much Patrick. And nice cat picture there. Brian Holt, speaking of Isle of Man, hope you're well. I'll be learning something extreme. So yeah, Tyros 5, get it back out. And I used to have it. Oh, you haven't got it anymore, okay. I am sure you're learning from stream. You will still learn something, I'm sure, yes Brian. And nice to see you last week. Nice to catch up with you. Okay, Shane Graves, can show me the audio link feature, please. Audio link feature. Okay. Well, let's go through some more stuff that I've got covered at the moment. We've got some more styles to show you. One of them I want to show you is using the Hawaiian background and getting used to this little pitch bend on the end here. This little wheel here, you can just see me doing on the picture, is a great way to give you a glide effect. If you've played the organ before, you might have had a little foot switch on the volume pedal. On the keyboards you could have a foot switch still, but this pitch bend on the end here on all of the keyboards, the S series, the SX, the Genos and all the Tyroses, is just on the left hand side here, and that gives you the opportunity to bend the pitch. Now you can set how much it bends. It's unlikely you're going to want to do this, but if you press the direct access button on the main screen, Charlie, okay, and then we press the or just move that pitch bend, we can go straight to the piece on the page where we can see the changes that we can make, and this allows us to decide how much the pitch bend is going to affect different voices. So it might be you want the pitch bend to, if you look in the first column, it's got the left hand voice, how much it's going to affect the left hand voice. If it's set to it, it's got the right hand voice 1, 2 and 3, and when we're playing we can have our notes. If I just have one voice on, let's just have a trombone or something. Let's go to the brass section, and I'm going to just pick the trombone there. Brilliant sound. Now if I use the pitch bend at the moment, it's set to, I think it was 2 notes, so I can bend my wheel down and it moves 2 semitones, okay, and that's going to give me that effect. So I can bring the pitch bend down and then bring it into the note. So we're always doing it before we play this, or normally we're doing it before. You might have a different way of using it, but I would normally use it before I play the note to glide it into the note that I want it to sound like. So if it's a trombone, I'd bring the note, bring the pitch bend down before I play it and glide into it, and down again, down again, down again. So add some more realism to the instrument. We can do it on a trumpet if we go to the trumpet sound. We can use it on a saxophone, really good on a sax. If we go to the woodwind section and find a good saxophone, breathy sax. It just glides up to the note we want. If we play, we found a good setting the other day for Acabilk, and if we go to, I think it was in the ballad section, there's a really good style called, is it in the ballad section? I'm going away from the rules now by making things up. Let's just find it. It was called Dreamy Ballad on page 2. Okay. Now if we pick the C sound, which is a really good low clarinet, and his intro number 2, and I'll just start playing it. And again. So it's a bit of a practice to get it better, but the more you get into it, the more you practice it, the more that it will allow you to have the confidence to let go of your chord and just bring that in, or bring it on a foot switch, and then you can do it without letting go of your chord. Let's just see if anyone's disagreeing with me. Maureen, hi Maureen, nice to have you in. Maureen Thorburn, is the ePianos Tyros 5 is better than SX700? It's really difficult to answer that, Maureen. The SX700 is a newer keyboard, but it's all built in, so your speakers aren't going to be the separate speaker set that make this such a rich sound. And this was a £3,500 keyboard, whereas the SX7 is a much lower price point one. So there's different views as to whether you think it's better or not. For convenience, the SX700 can go backseat of your car and under your arm and be taken to clubs and play for the old people and things. But the difference with this is it's a higher caliber instrument, I think, and I think you'll find that the Tyros 5 is ahead of it in lots of ways for a lot of its features. Okay, I'm not sure which to go with. Genius, gave Genius a miss. The Genius is by far better than this. I mean, we've got a deal on Genius at the moment where you can actually swap a Tyros 5 in for a Genius. We've got some second-hand Geniuses, and we're charging 1,649 to upgrade. So if you've got one of these and you think, really want the latest one now, the black Genius with the touch screen and everything else, then it's a really good offer at the minute. 1,649 to upgrade from a Tyros 5, and that's the cheapest I think we've ever done it. But the only difference is that the Geniuses are only available in the longer 76 note version, whereas the one I'm playing today is 5 octaves. It's the 61 note. The newer version is the 76 in the Genius format. This was available in 76, so you may have a 76, but the Genius is only 76. Okay, let's just see what these questions are saying. I actually can't read these questions because there's a big blue thing just come up on the screen. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Close poll, there we go. No.
Just click an option.
Let's see if that works. Okay, that's gone. Okay, let's see what you're saying then. Maureen, so we've gone through the questions on that. Not sure what to go with. David Tuttle. Hi David. Oh, I'm pleased you're enjoying the show. Thank you. It's very strange to just doing this as a show, but we enjoy doing it, and I hope you're getting something out of it, all of you. Stephen Bonkowski from Michigan. What speakers are you using and what EQ? Well, we've got a direct out from this keyboard on the main out, just straight into our recording system, or our system for showing you. So we're not actually using speakers. We've got the headphones, which are good Yamaha ones. The speakers I'd normally use would be the Yamaha MSO5s, which are ideally suited to this. They work very, very well. Okay, Maureen, that's good to know. The deals, yeah, the Genius deals are very good. 1,649 to upgrade to a used Genius. Really good condition. We're very fussy about what we sell. Most people of you are going to look after these, and if it's one that's been gigged, we'll just stick it on eBay because we really don't want to sell you something that's not in pristine condition. Okay, let's go to another one that uses this pitch bend. How many of you use the pitch bend? Can you just let me know if you do use it, and how confident you are with it? Okay, and I'll show you. There's another really good style to get into here. If we go into the Latin, I think it's in the world section, and it's on the did you realise, by the way, you can press the style button and it goes through all the pages. You don't have to go along the bottom to get to page 2, page 3, page 4. You can just press the button again. You can see me doing that, but it's changing it without me going through the bottom of the page. Now on the last but one page, in this case is, in fact no, it's on page 2, it's called Hawaiian. And if I press Hawaiian now, you'll see it at the bottom here, and that will give me a really good backing for all the Hawaiian. A lower O is probably the best one, or Spanish Eyes or something. And if we use this one, this has got a really good sound, and the pitch bend we'll use again. So we're just going to bring it on before I play the note. And the great thing about a lower O is there's quite a lot of gaps for you to practice using the pitch bend. So if I just do the same again, using the pitch bend in a song, I'm going to use intro number 2, put my transpose back to normal, and play my C chord. Now one thing I didn't do, which again is a good thing to try on this before you start using a new style, is we've got these 4 backings and we've got the 4 OTS link OTS sounds at the top here, and I've got them coupled up with OTS link here. But at the bottom of the screen, if we go back to the screen again, we've got a button that says OTS info, and when I press the bottom of number 6, we've got this OTS link, and when I press it, it shows me what I'll get for any of the one-touch settings. Now I'm using them on the A, B, C, D buttons because I have the OTS link turned on. But if we go to any of the OTS buttons on the panel, 1, 2, 3, 4, that will still change those, and then we can see what we're going to get. Look, the first one's going to give us a concert guitar with a lower guitar and a vibraphone. Second one's going to give us 2 lower guitars. The third one, strings and mandolins. And the fourth one is vocals and guitar. So we get an idea of which one to press in which part of the song we're playing. So I'm going to actually go straight to OTS 2 on the B button, because that's going to give me just the guitars, and that's the best way to demonstrate this for you. So let's start it again. And we're into the song there, okay? Here we go. Forward. It's very effective, isn't it? So all we remember to do is we've got to bring that pitch bend down towards us before we play the note, so that when we play it, it's already down and it just glides up to the right sound. Let's see if any of you have had some experience of it. Okay, rarely use the pitch bend, Mr. Clitheroe, rarely use pitch bend joystick rather than wheel. It is a joystick now on the other later models, that's right, but it does exactly the same job there. Terence, use pitch bend on my Essex 900, that's good. Good, Terence Parker. Andy Long, Telstar, very good with Fantasy Fox in Entertainer. That's a really good. If you play Telstar, yeah, Fantasy Fox in the Entertainer section is a really good backing, really suitable for that. Mr. Tambourine, very good with Sky Pop. All variations good in those styles. That's good, Andy Long, thank you. Peter Daniel, can't get on with the pitch bend. Well, have a go, Peter. Just try what I've just said. So you hold your notes that you're going to play, but you put the pitch bend on before you play them. So, and it glides in, down, and slide into it. So it's something to practice. It's really worth trying. But what you've got to remember is if you've got the chord playing with that constant backing, you can let go of it and you can get over there to the pitch bend waiting ready, and then you can put that down just before you play your note, and then glide up to the one you want. And it's practice. It's like anything. You've got to practice how smoothly you can get it back up in the right kind of time. You don't want to just let go quickly because it'll be less of an effect, but it's a really good effect to try and get into. Doing it on the foot switch might be better for some of you, but the pitch bend wheel is one definitely to have a go with. So that's the pitch bend. Let's see if anybody else has used it. Peter Daniel, Thunder. Hello David, great help, thank you for your tours. Thank you Adorian. I'm guessing Adorian is your name and not Thunder. Okay, pitch bend a lot easier on Genos with the lever. I wouldn't say it's any easier. I suppose it might be easier to grab, perhaps, Dennis. It's a personal thing, probably. Okay, so the pitch bend, do have a go at it. Let me know how you get on, and let me know any more styles that you particularly like using too. It's great to share these ideas with everybody. Okay, I've got another style to show you, the theatre organ styles. Now, in the theatre organ section, which is part of the ballroom area, if I go to ballroom, can you see the screen here? Ballroom pressed, and we'll go through to the last page. We've got theatre ballad, theatre foxtrot, theatre quickstep, theatre showtime, and theatre march. There's 5 different theatre backings on this model. If I go to theatre ballad, if I play my intro number 2, D, so the ballad rhythm is just a free play. I can play any chord, but there's no kind of obvious beat to sort of go along with that. So it's whatever speed I play, it just keeps my speed. And you can play quite a lot of music to that. Let's just see if anyone else has commented. Maureen, thank you very much. Just tried the pitch bend. Didn't know how to use it live. Oh, well, just get used to it, Maureen. That's good to do that. Hope your family are well. Spoke to Isaac this morning. Purchased used Genos. Thank you very much. T Jolly Vet, that's great, thank you. I saw that you'd bought one, and we'll get it all. I think we're getting it all loaded up today for you. Thank you for online videos and tours, especially easy. Craig from March, England. So you're up in Norfolk, Cambridgeshire. Okay, so the next one on here I've got is Theatre Foxtrot. Let's just go into Theatre Foxtrot. This is a nice rhythm, this one, and I tend to play on this. That's really nice. That's the Theatre Foxtrot. Now, as we go through, the next one's a little bit faster, a lot faster. It's called Theatre Quickstep. Let's just try this one. That's a great sound. That's the theatre quick step. And the next one again is called a theatre showtime, and it's a session one. So this session one sort of changes with the chords you play. It's very clever how they've done it. So if I play a session one now, theatre showtime, and this is quite good. I showed you a few days ago the way I play No Business Like Show Business, where you can play a mix of notes, and if you have a gap between, if I start with my E on the thumb, and then I have a gap for the F, and then go G and A, gap for the B, and then a C. So I've got E, G, A, and C. And that's my position of my hand when I play. And if you can jump around the octave and all the notes, and it kind of works to be able to play a big chord when you're in C on this. So if I play, I'm just going to do this with my hand, and you'll see for the majority of the song, I can just bounce around that same chord position, and it works really well for this No Business Like Show Business. It's a great big sound. And the last theatre one is Theatre March, and again a really big sound. Now in the, I think it was the Blackpool Tower, they linked a piano up to the organ, so the D sound, you actually hear what sounds like a bit of a honky-tonk piano. So although I'm playing the organ sound, it couples up a piano, which is what they've done in some of the sort of theatre organ setups, and it's quite effective. So if I play this, I'm just going to play a theatrical march, and it's the Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside. Great track to play. It's so well orchestrated. All these sort of theatre-y bits just make you feel really good about playing, and the intros and the endings are very well made and written to just suit what you'd hear if you're watching Reginald Dixon or somebody playing in the Blackpool Theatre or one of the others. And it's just a really good sound to listen to. So really encouraging and good to do. Okay, so Tom McCowley, good afternoon from Melton Mowbray, Leicestershire. Oh, that's good. Hi, Tom. Nice to have you with us. Okay, so I'm going to go through some more stuff with you now. Let me look at my list, see what we've got covered so far. Okay, tap dance swing I want to show you. So in we go into the movie and show section. There's a really good setting in here on page, where is it? Page... Talk amongst yourselves. That's the first one, tap dance swing, and this is an audio style. So what Yamaha started to incorporate when they brought out the, I think it was the S970 and onwards, is audio styles, and that means that you've got the normal backings, but on top of that they've added an extra audio sound. In this case it's someone tap dancing, so it's the Fred Astaire or whatever tapping in the background, and you get the in the background, which just adds to the style. So if I put the intro number 2 on this one again, we'll just play a first chord. You can hear it. Okay, and we can play a couple of good songs. Work for this is Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, and also another one which I've forgotten, but I'll play when I start playing. Okay, let's see what it starts on. Oh, it's Singing in the Rain. So you can hear all those tapping footsteps in the background, can't you? It's really quite effective. Okay, thanks, Tom. Good to hear you from you, Melton Modry. Mick Sayers, thanks for joining me. You obviously forgot we were coming on at that time because I saw you come on earlier. Claudio Okoa, is the Tyros hooked directly to audio input or using the sound of the keyboard with your mic? No, it's linked straight to audio. We've got an audio out the back straight through, and I'm hearing it through headphones. When you plug in headphones when you're going out to audio, you need to make sure that the headphones don't turn the audio off. So you do need to go into the settings. If any of you ever want to do this, if I just show you with the screen, if I press the, let's go to the right section here. If we go into the function button, and then we go into utility, we've got on here for configuration number 1, we've got, no, it's on 2. We've got one that actually allows us to set the headphone out. In fact, I've just lost it. Let me just show you find where it is, because we've just done this. Charlie, where did I find it? Mixing console. Nice.
Right, it was config 2.
It was config 2. Okay, so config 2. Yeah, it's the first one on config 2. And these 3 settings at the bottom of the screen, headphone switch on and off, allows you so that the headphones will still work, but you're cutting out the sound with the headphones, but the output will still work. So if you ever need to go out to a sound system but you want to be able to hear yourself still, by putting the headphone set to on, that means that the line out will still be on even though the headphone is switching out the sound of the local speakers. Okay, so that's quite a clever thing to use. Okay, so something else we want to go through today, want to go through the EQ settings. So on the keyboard here we can set up the EQ, and that will give us a chance to set how bright or mellow it is, and it makes quite a difference, especially if you're going through other speakers or you want to try it on headphones. You can set different settings of your EQ depending on the type of speakers that you're using. Now you might think, don't want to be into all that, that's okay, but the settings that are built into it are just a typical flat setting to suit your speakers. Now if you're going to use it through different speakers or you want to experiment, you can actually improve the sound quite a lot, because instead of it being a flat EQ, you can make it a little bit more bassy and a little bit more trebly. So you're going to, a bit like your car hi-fi, you want to make it suit your ears and the sound that you want. So what I want to do is just show you how to adjust the EQ on your keyboard. It will work on all the keyboards, SX, S-Series, Genos, Tyros, and we can go in and we can set the EQ settings to suit our particular choice. Now I'm going to show you my choice. It's quite a typical one that a lot of people do, and it's the smiley face choice they call it. So if we go into the mixing console button just to the left of the main screen, and we've got these along the top here, you can probably see voice, filter, tune, effect, EQ, compressor and line out. So if I go along with my tab button as far as EQ, now then we've got a little picture on the screen of some choices, and we've got the top choice is the flat choice, just a totally flat setup. The next one down is for the TRS MS505 settings, which is how you might have it if you've bought it from us or from somewhere, and that's a typical setting for it. But we can go down with the C button to speakers on stage, line out to a PA, line out to your hi-fi, and then we've got 2 user settings. And these user settings are so that you can put in your own settings that you might like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the TRS 505, which is typically how you've got it set at the moment when you go to this page, and I'm going to press the edit button just to the top right of the screen here, and then you can see that you've got this white page comes up and it shows you EQ 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now this is effectively, there is some little adjustments. You've got EQ 4 is just down a bit and 3 just down a bit, but this is generally quite flat at the moment. We can see the line, they all go in a line, and we've got the bass frequencies through to the middle frequencies up to the high frequencies, and you can make these changes to suit your ear. The way I'm going to show you today is to boost the bass, and I'm also going to boost the treble, and I'm going to make a smiley face with that shape we've got here. So what I'm going to do, look, I'm going to go in and put the EQ 1 to, I'm going to go to 8, I'm going to go EQ 2, I'm going to go to 6, EQ 3, I'm going to go to 3, EQ 4, I'm going to go to 6, and EQ 5, I'm going to go to 8. So we've got effectively a down and back up again, and this is going to just make a little bit of a difference to what we hear. It's going to boost the bass and it's going to boost the treble. So if we try it, I'm actually going to store that in first of all, just so that you can hear what I've just saved. So user 2, I'm going to call it user DC. You can leave it as whatever you want, okay? And that's now stored my changes. And if we go back up to the standard setting, this is it all pretty flat, and I'm just going to play a piano sound to you. Let's just put it back to just piano. Now if I go now to my new setting for my EQ, user 2, so it's just fattened it out a little bit for us. Now if we go to something with a backing plane, let's go back up to the standard setting. It would have TRS MS05. I'm just going to put a ballad rhythm on. I'm going to put on a boy ballad, and I'm just going to play that in the background. And I'll play some melody. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it now to the new setting I've just made, and you can see if you hear a difference. And I'm going to put it down now. That's how it was. Put it back up again. So you're not actually changing the settings for good, but it gives you an opportunity to just tweak it for yourself and see how it changes the overall sound. But for strings and pianos and solo instruments and the bass in the background, if you're going to bring in the accompaniment bass a little bit more and the melody trebles a little bit more, it's just going to give you that extra boost. The middle isn't quite so exciting on the EQ, but the way that I've set it with that sort of smiley face with the going down and back up again, I've just pressed store and called it a name, and it's there. I can go back to my original settings, but it just gives you something to experiment with, and it does change the sound quite a lot. So do have a go at that yourself. So to get back into that page again, all I did, I pressed the mixing console and I tabbed across till we got to the EQ settings, and you can see these with the B and C to choose between the settings, and the TRS 505 is the standard setting, and I went down to my user 2 setting, which was that one that I made, and that gives me the chance to tweak it to how I want it to be. So do have a try on that, see what you think, see if that's helped you. Let's see if any of you have spoken. Have any of you tried that already yourself? Well, what a difference. Yeah, it does more, it does make a big difference. It's giving you more volume because it's giving you more treble and bass, but it's not giving that middle section, and that's the bit that often isn't such a pretty sound. It's just part of the sound. So I personally think that by bringing in those each side, that does make a big difference. It's worth experimenting yourself with that. Okay. Hi from Holland, Renz. That's nice of you to join us. Hope you're getting something out of this. If you want us to help you with anything specific, then do mention what you'd like help with. Okay, now someone else asked me about saving 3-layer voices. How to save 3-layer voices into your settings. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a blank set of registrations, and I'm just going to show you how to put in 3 different voices and mix them together and save them into a registration button here. I know you can't see it quite as well as sometimes, but you've got the screen in front of you where I can show you that, and I will tell you what I'm doing to make it as clear as possible. So to start off with, to actually clear these registration bank buttons, you can do a thing by turning the keyboard off, holding down the second note down on the keys, whether it's a white or black depending on which model you've got, but it's normally the B note on a 61 note keyboard, the second note down, and when you hold that down you turn it back on again, and that will then clear all of these 8 or 10 on a Genos registration buttons. As long as you've saved the previous batch or you're using a saved batch, that won't lose anything, but it gives you the opportunity to actually give you a blank set, and then you can then put your own registration into that blank set here. So what we're going to do, we're going to put 3 sounds together, and the part select on the right hand side of your keyboard and part on off are really good things to get used to. If you've always used the one-touch settings like I do a lot of the time, then you may not be so familiar with this, but the part select and the part on off, 2 rows of 4 buttons on the right hand side, are there to give you the option of which sounds you want to mix together. Now on the Genos and the SX you've got a touch screen, so if you were to go into you've got the blue section at the top of your screen, and that gives you the 3 right hand voices and 1 left hand voice, and you can go into them to change them. On the Tyros, when you're on the main screen, if we go to that now, Charlie, we've got the 4 sounds on the right hand side of the screen, and we can change any of them by just touching the button next to them. So if I go into the first voice here, and that goes straight to where it was, which is the string section, I'm going to press the piano button on the panel. On the Genos or SX you just press the category on the left hand side, and then I'm going to choose my sound, concert grand I'm going to choose. So my first sound, if nothing else is turned on, so I've now got a piano sound set up, and that's because I've got just set up on the right hand side the orange button in the lower row for right 1. That's just my first section. Now if I want to change and put another sound into the next section across, right 2, I've got to make sure it's turned on. So I turn it on by pressing the orange button next to that which says right 2, the bottom button in the block of 8, and that will then turn on the second section. So I've now got right 1 turned on with my piano, my right 2 is on, and that's now giving me a violin sound. So I've now got, and I'm going to choose a different sound. I'm going to change to another sound. Now because I've got my 8 buttons and the one above right 2 is lit up, that means that that's the sound that I am choosing at the moment. So I'm going to go to my string sound, and I'm going to just press it a few times till I get through to the big full string sounds. And I've got one called, which one should I choose? Romance strings. There we go. So now I've got my piano and my romance strings together. Now the way that you can test to make sure it's all okay is you've got your grid of 8. The middle 2 at the bottom are going to be turning on right 1 and 2. So if I turn them both off, the keyboard won't do anything at all. You think sound. So I'm going to go and turn on the bottom of right number 1, and that gives me my piano. I'm going to turn the bottom of right number 2 on, and that adds my strings. And I'm going to add a third voice now. I'm going to press the bottom of the right number 3, which turns on the part for my third voice. The blue light above it, the select light, comes on automatically when I choose a new setting. And I'm going to pick my choir section, and I'm going to choose, let's have a boys choir ooh. So now my 3 voices all sound together. And I think you can just about hear the 3 coming through separately. So we've got 3 voices on together now. Now, once I've made my 3 voices, I can decide what else I want to put with them. The big thing to remember is, because I did that first, if I go to the style section now, and I choose a style, when the OTS link is turned on, that will get rid of that sound I just made. So make sure that you either do the sound second to the style, or when you bring a style in, turn off the OTS link button, because as soon as I bring in a rhythm style, it will get rid of that sound that I've just made and give me the one-touch setting registration that Yamaha recommends. So you've got to make sure you turn the link off, else it will just force in its Yamaha recommended sound and lose the one that you've just taken ages to make. So I'm going to turn off OTS link, and now when I play my style, I'm going to play, let's see what we'll put on, a Latin rhythm. We'll go back to one of those we had earlier, a lounge bossa nova, and it'll keep my sound. And I've got my sound. And there's my sound that I've made, and we can go along with that. Now if you want to save that, the way that you save it is you press the memory button next to all the registration. So just next to the registration area, there's one that says memory. And just as you're going to save it, make sure that you're saving all the right things. So on the screen, it will actually give me, on the screen, Charlie, the choices. So it gives me style, voice, multipad, any harmony that might be turned on, the tempo, the pedal settings, the slider settings, transpose, and so forth. And if we're going to save that sound, we press the memory button already. We just need to press the sound button of where we want to store it into. I'm going to press number 1, and that's now stored that setting I've got into number 1. And we can do as many as we want of those. The final thing to remember is, if we're mixing all these sounds together and storing them into a button, that as soon as we go to another batch, those ones that we've got in the panel will be lost unless we store them in safely. So on the Tyros, to store them in safely, we exit back to that main screen, we press the 2 registration bank buttons together, or we can alternatively press the J button. The J button takes us into recording a sound of our own. So I'm going to press the J button, and we're already in the user area, which is where I want to store it. If you're on a Tyros 4 downwards, you'll see the button save appear along the bottom here. Because I'm on a Tyros 5, I press the bottom of number 8, which is menu in orange, and that takes us to menu 2, and then the save becomes available. Just along the bottom we've got save. So these are in 2 rows, and we're at the bottom row, so it's the bottom row of buttons that we can use. And if I press save with the bottom of number 6, I can delete out that last name, and I can just put in D small case A V I. You've only got 2 or 3 seconds before it stops, so you've got to get your typing into the right numbers. We just practice through with that. But I've put in David, okay, and that will now store my registration setting with the name David, alphabetical order. It kept the same icon, and I've now saved my 3 layered sound setting into button number 1 of that new batch I've made. So that's quite a good way to do it. If you want more help with that, I've got some instructions that I can email to you, which will explain step by step how to put in a sound into the registration memory. And we've got a few handouts. If there are certain things that you want on a Tyros specifically, then maybe let us know, and I can send you some handouts that might explain that. Let's just see if any comments have come in. Maureen, what a difference. Yeah, that does make a difference doing the EQ. And Brian Holt, great presentation. Thank you very much. Yeah, we will be doing a 671, Brian. Yeah, I've got a, because I'm stuck at home, I haven't got one here, unfortunately, but I think Chris will be doing one from the shop very soon. Okay, that's great. Okay, and thank you very much for sending me the flash drive. Paul's got the flash drive, that's great. That's good news. Okay, so a couple more things I want to show you. For those of you who want to upgrade to a Genos from the fantastic Tyros, we are doing $16.49 at the moment to upgrade from a Tyros for speakers to a Genos for speakers, fully loaded with 600 registrations, 235 extra styles, 25 expansion packs, and lots of extra little things, that the music finder and things that we've loaded in, and the extra bonus playlist. So we do quite a lot to help it be easy to use, with lots of sounds already loaded in for you. So do get in touch if you fancy an upgrade. We can do you a really good deal at the moment. If you want to get our newsletter, we send out a newsletter normally every Friday or Saturday, and that will tell you about special deals we're doing, about all our secondhand music we've got available. Mel's got a secondhand music page on the website which shows all the books that you can buy. They're only £4 or £5 each, and we can send them out to you by post. And so the secondhand music is available. Check out our website. And we've also got secondhand covers, gig bags, hard cases, flight cases, stands. All those things are available as optional extras that you can buy, and they're on our website in the accessories section as well. So if you want any extras for your Tyros or Genos or other model keyboard, do get in touch. Okay, a couple of other styles to show you. There's a really good one called Blues Rock. If you go into the rhythm and blues section on the panel, you'll see from the screen now we've got a choice, and this one's been out for a little while. It's been on other models. I think it's been on most of the Tyroses, but the Blues Rock on the right hand side of page 1, it's very good for the song Minder. Do you remember Minder with Terry McCann, was it, and Arthur Daly? So Blues Rock is really good for this. And if I use intro number 2, the intro is really good, and intro number 3 can be used in the song as well. So if we go to here, and I'm going to use start with A. It starts off with a piano. In fact, if I go into the OTS info, we can see it starts off with a pop grand. Let's just choose that. Then we go to organ, and then we go to vintage drive, and then we go to the big brass. And if we press harder, we get that wibble sound, that, which is really effective when you're pressing hard and getting excited about a song. So let's go through this one. It's called it's the Minder theme. Oh, it's a good song, that, isn't it? Minder. Okay, John from Northwood. Is there any way to remove the blue box? We don't have a Tyros. To remove the blue box. Is there a way to remove the blue box? We don't have a Tyros. Oh, I see. You're trying to answer the question. I think that's something that the technical side of this video is doing, and I don't know how to remove it. I think just press 1 and it will disappear. So do let us know what else you'd like us to cover in these videos. You know, we're here to give you tips, maybe something that you haven't found yourself that we might have found, or we can ask somebody that can help to help answer a question for you. We want your feedback. So any questions, let us know by email. There's a box on our website, I believe now, where you can put in things that you want to know to be answered. We've got the newsletter request on the website too. There's also a section just on videos. Now if you go on our main website, ePianos.co.uk, in the left hand side there's a menu which gives you EPTV, and that is all the videos that we've made over the last 7 or 8 years. They include demonstrations, comparisons, tips and tricks, and they're all there for you to see. So go on our main ePianos.co.uk website, go to the top corner and you'll see a menu, and when you go into there you'll see the different types of things that the website helps you with, including EPTV, ePianos television. And that is basically our way of saying this is all the categories of all the videos we've made. They're all free, they're all available to watch, and some of them will be the last 3 or 4 of these live streams that we've done, but there's lots more in there to learn about what you have or what you're thinking of buying, or you just want to get some tips from our playing or from somebody else's. So do go into those. EPTV. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you found a little nugget of information that you can use. We're going to do it again tomorrow on a Genos. We'll be here at 2 o'clock again from my spare bedroom with Charlie the sound man getting hot in the corner, and we'll show you some more tips that you might want to learn. Thanks for joining us today, and do get back to us. Write a little message saying if you found it useful, if there's some improvements we can make to our live streams. And thanks so much for watching. Speak to you again soon. Bye bye.